Here are my picks for the top 10 hottest Nancy Drew guys. I'm not into guys myself, so when I came up with this list, I relied heavily on what other people on the internet have said. Since this is the internet I'm talking about, they say every Nancy Drew guy is hot, especially Henrik Vanderheun and Taylor Sinclair. Really? Taylor is a hottie? No way! Let me set the record straight with these 10 Nancy Drew hunks. Number 10, Ranger Jeff Akers from Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake. I'm told older Nancy Drew fans really like Jeff, and I can see why he'd appeal to them. Jeff has a steady job and a nice dog, he's hardworking and always pleasant, he's got a little sense of humor, and the one time he gets kinda mad at Nancy, he quickly apologizes for his unpleasant behavior. That is a good trait for a boyfriend to have. I have him at the bottom of the list because I don't like how he slaps Nancy with a fine after the culprit tries to kill her. That betrays a total lack of empathy and an obsession with the rules. But if you want a clean, well-cut guy who's not going to give you any drama, Jeff is a good pick. I think he would be a good parent. Number 9, Thanos Ganas from Labyrinth of Lies. Sure, he's kind of evil and doesn't talk a lot, but just look at those biceps. Nobody's arguing with this king of the underworld. He's confident at all times, even when he's trapped in a cage. I kind of like how he introduces himself to Nancy by messing with her, just for no reason. He's got a serious bad boy vibe going on. I can understand if some people prefer Gregor over Thanos, but I think Thanos is the more interesting character. He's the strong, silent type. Gregor tries too hard to be flirty with Nancy. I don't think it works. So I'd pick Thanos over Gregor as the Nancy Drew hunk in that game. Number 8, Kit Foley from Haunting of Castle Malloy. I was a little surprised to learn Kit is considered a Nancy Drew hunk, because he's got a black eye. I thought that would take him out of the running. Kit freely admits his black eye looks really bad. He would look pretty good without that shiner. His hair is nice, and he's definitely got the business casual look down. He's nice and pretty fun to talk to. He definitely develops more of a friendly connection to Nancy than the other characters in that game. The big problem with Kit is that he's clearly obsessed with his best friend's girlfriend. That is not a good look for him. He gets over it at the end when he gets a new girlfriend, so I would say Kit is not the best catch during the course of the game, but 1 month after the game takes place, Kit would be a great catch. Number 7, Alec Fell from The Silent Spy. Alec is definitely the hot guy of this game. I feel like he's the one Nancy is closest to. He's the one she likes and trusts the most in this situation where she can't trust anyone. Unlike the others, he legitimately wants to help her. He's not in it for secret spy reasons. Yeah, he's been ordered to keep contact with her, but I think he would want to help Nancy even if he didn't have to. He is funny, he is clever, and he's very passionate. He cares a lot about saving his sister, and I think that plays a big role in why he wants to protect Nancy. He doesn't want her to fall into the same trap his sister did. I like the end of the game where he stages an elaborate attack on Nancy, and he doesn't even try to contradict her when she reveals it's all fake. Alec is also a bit of a mystery. What is his backstory? How did he get a job as somebody who finds missing people? So yeah, mysterious Scottish spy definitely counts as a hot Nancy Drew guy. Number 6, Ned Nickerson from Multiple Games. Loyal and dependable, Ned is basically the nicest boyfriend ever. In fact, lots of people think he's too good for Nancy. His biggest flaw is caring too much for her, which is not a flaw. He's always supportive and helpful when Nancy calls. He's even willing to break the law for her. I have no idea why Ned has never appeared as a character, when Bess, George, and the Hardy Boys have appeared 3 times. That doesn't make sense to me. In Sea of Darkness and Midnight in Salem, they tried having a big romantic storyline with Ned and Nancy, and I feel like that fell a little flat because we've never met him in the games. He's just a phone contact. Ned deserves better. Number 5, Frank Hardy from multiple games. It feels unfair to have Frank on this list without including Joe, but Frank is definitely the hunkier, more popular Hardy brother. He's the more serious one with dark hair, and he's always on the same wavelength as Nancy. That is nice. He's also got an adorable crush on Nancy. I think that's part of the reason people love him so much. She doesn't seem to realize it, but it is cute how he gets flustered around her. Midnight in Salem, the Captive Curse, and the Deadly Device all tease at Frank wanting to confess his feelings for Nancy. The Hardys look good in Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon. Frank's clearly the better looking one in Creature of Kapu Cave. Their phone picture in Labyrinth of Lies is pretty decent, and they're among the better looking characters in Midnight in Salem, so I understand why the Hardy Boys are considered the hunky boys. Number 4, Dylan Carter from Tomb of the Lost Queen. Dylan is a hot guy with an adorable accent, and he flirts with Nancy a lot. How many people wanted to take him up on his offer to run away and see the world with him? He's got some funny lines, and the other female characters both acknowledge that Dylan is cute. I don't know what else to say. He makes it onto this list based on looks alone. He's the first Nancy Drew hunk to be done in HD graphics, and he's smack in the middle of a 5 to 6 game stretch where there are no other hunky characters, so that gives him a boost in popularity. Number 3, Alejandro Del Rio from Secret of the Scarlet Hand. Alejandro is also a hot guy with an accent. He's extremely passionate about his life and his work, and even though he's angry with the museum, he doesn't take it out on Nancy. That is nice of him. He blackmails Nancy into getting the Monolith Agreement, which isn't nice of him, and he leaps on the first chance to get Joanna hauled in for questioning. I don't like him for those reasons, but he's still a popular Nancy Drew hunk. He seems to be on the borderline between second tier and first tier hunk. I imagine if he was in a game with more realistic graphics, his status as a hunk would only improve. Number 2, Henry Bolet from Legend of the Crystal Skull. Henry is super popular with Nancy Drew fans. He's got a cool looking design. I love his goth look and his tattoo. His unruly hair is especially cool. He's like a hot Harry Potter. His backstory is pretty romantic too. He's broken up over the death of his relatives. He openly cries over their graves. He gets no help from his girlfriend Summer. She's greedy and manipulative. He knows it, but he's too scared to do anything about it. He's scared of being dumped, and he's scared that he'll never get another girlfriend. So, beneath his bad boy exterior, Henry is very vulnerable and hurt. He needs the perfect woman to step in and help him heal. Bad guy with the secret sensitive side is a popular character type in romantic movies. Guy with a tragic backstory is also a popular romantic character. I can see why female players think Henry has a ton of romantic potential. And before we get to the number 1 spot, here are the honorable mentions. Other popular Nancy Drew hunks include Charlie Murphy from Message in a Haunted Mansion. He's basically Ned before Ned became a solid character in the series. Tex Britton from Secret of Shadow Ranch. He's tough, no nonsense, and he falls apart like putty when his girlfriend is around. Jacques Brunet from Treasure in a Royal Tower. He's an internationally famous hunk, although his accent is kind of terrible. If he had a cute accent, that would make him better. Joe Hardy from Many Games. I'm surprised Joe doesn't get more love, considering how often he appears. He kind of reminds me of a male version of Bess, and I really love his little crush on Deirdre Shannon in Midnight in Salem. Maybe Joe doesn't get considered as a hunk because he was totally hideous in Creature of Kapu Cave. Sonny June! He has cool hair, I'll give him that. Mr. September from Secrets Can Kill Remastered. That guy is so very hot. And the number 1 hottest Nancy Drew guy is, you guessed it, number 1, Dave Gregory from Secret of Shadow Ranch. He and Henry are widely accepted as the two hunkiest Nancy Drew characters. I think Dave has the edge over Henry because he is really attractive. He's pretty tanned, he works out a lot, and he's got the cute accent. Cute accents count for a lot on this list, it seems. The other thing that gives him an edge over Henry is the fact that he's attracted to Nancy, and that's something which shows up on this list a lot too. Because we never see Nancy in these games, it's easy for players to pretend that they're Nancy and all these cute guys are flirting with them. Dave's big scene is when he asks Nancy if she's got a steady back home. When she asks if he has a girlfriend, he gets embarrassed and changes the subject. And that is a cute scene. Dave's definitely a memorable character. I suspect he's a big part of the reason why that game is so popular. So those are my picks for the top 10 hottest Nancy Drew guys. Feel free to leave a comment on which guys you think are the biggest hunks. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I recently got 50,000 subscribers, which is why I made this video as a special thank you treat for all my Nancy Drew friends who have stuck by me over the years.